I think I'm probably actually losing it. I was just trying to get home, 20 minutes, nothing crazy, when I just realized I was trapped in a white SUV sandwich. And what I mean by that is a Honda CR-V was in front of me, a Toyota RAV4 next to me, and a Nissan Rogue behind me so close I could probably read their Spotify playlist through the rearview mirror. And every single one of them was white. It felt like the Matrix glitched and the developers just said, yeah, whatever, let's just Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, the crossover template all over again. But that's when it hit me. We are not drivers anymore. We're just inventory. We used to care about weird, soulful cars, the stuff that made noise, the stuff that broke, cars that had, I don't know, kind of a pulse. Now, if you're a car guy, you kind of know what I'm saying. But now car culture kind of feels like Ikea furniture in a way. As long as it's sleek, responsible, and looks expensive in a parking lot, people are like, yes, that is who I am now. So today we're talking about the cars that turn car culture into the NPC mode. If you own one, it's okay. I'm not mad. And hey, before we dive in, comment your least favorite car trend below. I want to see what you guys have to say. At number 1, we have the Tesla Model 3 and the Model Y. Look, the tech is great. It's cool. The acceleration is hilariously fast. It's basically a roller coaster with Bluetooth. I mean, that's pretty cool. But when someone buys and says, I am a car enthusiast, okay, let me put it this way. It's like hearing someone microwave frozen pizza and call themselves a chef. You did not buy a car. You bought a subscription service with wheels, all right? And the car culture around them, you guys hang out at charging stations scrolling LinkedIn posts like passive income, hustle, disrupt. You are not. You're a driving futuristic beige Camry. And the mods, oh my goodness. Make carbon fiber, RGB everything, performance pedals that weigh 0.00003 ounces less. Half of you installed a yoke steering wheel, even though the sharpest turn you can take is the Starbucks drive-thru. If the only soul your car comes from a software update, let's calm down a little bit on the opinions, all right? And listen, if you daily a Tesla but wrench on a project on car weekends, fine. I respect it. Tell me what you're building in the comments, all right? But if the Tesla is your personality, what are we doing? At number 2, next up, we have the V6 Charger and the EcoBoost Mustang. Now, how do I say this nicely? If your car looks like a 700 horsepower monster but sounds like a weed whacker when you pull away, you might be cosplaying as a car enthusiast. Let's go through the checklist. You probably have got louvers you can't see out of, a big wing enough to launch as a glider, and pops and bangs tune for a 4-cylinder. It's like wearing a muscle suit to the gym, and I don't like it. And I probably know what you already say. It's my daily. I wanted mileage. Then just buy an Accord. Don't buy the car that was an American V8 heritage and feed it like a Prius. And please, 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 please stop financing these things at 29% APR with underglow. You're not a car guy. You're just a victim of the predatory lending with an allowed exhaust that we've talked about in the past. And I say this from the bottom of my heart because I used to be almost that guy. I once priced out my wheels before checking if my brakes worked, and that's okay. We all start somewhere. At number 3, we have the base German leases, the corporate drone edition. This one's for the badge flexers, the BMW 330i, the Mercedes C300, base trim, lease, no options. You know exactly who you are. The key fob goes on the restaurant table before the menu does. You talk about hustle culture, but your apartment echoes. You're paying a luxury tax every time you change wiper blades, but the driving experience, less engaging than a Mazda 3. Oh, and the suspension probably feels like it was tuned by astronauts on their lunch break. You probably don't love driving, you love looking at someone who does well. Meanwhile, the guy in the B-Up E46 with mismatched panels, more personality in one lug nut than your entire lease agreement. Again, if you like nice cars, that's great. I don't have a problem with that. But if your logo is doing all the heavy lifting, I don't know, that's kind of NPC behavior. At number 4, we have the lifted payment princess trucks, the Suburb Cowboy. And I will say, this is probably the one I hate the most out of all of these. The $90,000 truck that is deathly afraid of dirt. You've got a 6-inch lift, chrome wheels, mall rated all terrain, and the heaviest thing you've hauled, probably a candle from Target. You've taken a tool and turned it into a high-heeled shoe. You get nervous when you see a gravel driveway. You park diagonally across from the spaces because she's too wide, bro. It's an ego tank, a 3-ton cry for help. And somewhere a contractor in a rusted F-250 is laughing at you. At number 5, we have the JDM Clone Army, the WRX, and the Civic Si. Before you yell at me in the comments, I do love these cars. They're one of the nicest cars. I love them. I love them to death. But some of you become kind of a hive mind. I can predict your build. All right, I'm a genie. Watch this. Rep wheels, Cobb access port, anime sticker, and vape in the console. Did I get it right? I just feel like you're not building car anymore. You're just following following a recipe. It's like ramen packets, you know, different bowls, same noodles. And the captioners are always like, unique build coming soon. I don't really think it's that unique. I saw like 5 of them on the way to work. And look, the community is awesome, friends, meets, drives, but don't trade individually for Subi waves and shared head gasket trauma. Be weird again. Get something you don't see every day, alright? Alright, look, it isn't about bullying anyone, it's about the real soul of car culture. If one of these cars genuinely makes you happy, that's awesome. That sounds amazing. But if you bought it because you thought, this is the car of what we drive, this is what we should drive, then maybe just, you know, take a reset. Buy something odd, buy something old, buy something cool, buy something unreliable that makes questionable sounds while moving. I don't know. Get a car that makes strangers say, what the hell is that? Because car culture used to be messy. It used to be weird and personal. Let's bring that back. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one on Torque Savvy. Peace.